Welcome back to the SighSquad Podcast.
Welcome back to the SighSquad Podcast.
Welcome back to the SighSquad Pod.
Welcome, Pod Sty.
Yeah, welcome back, Brendan.
Oh, yeah. We missed it last week.
Yeah, did you listen to last week's episode?
Yes, I did.
Well, what did we say about you? Wow, Brendan.
You're
Got you there.
Call me out.
Well,
Talk trash. That's what we do every time somebody's gone.
not really. Maybe a little at the end, but I don't know. You'll have to listen back to find out. But week 17 went by.
Yeah, the NFL season's over.
Ooh.
So sad.
I propose a 34-week season with a expanded playoffs and year-round football.
Yeah.
No.
Might as well.
No.
We can have the starters in there when it matters.
We double the roster size.
Yeah.
Just have a summer league.
All right, boys.
That'd work too. But it has to be like NFL. It can't be XFL because XFL is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be like who's going to be in the summer league because people are going to opt out. So because Aaron Rodgers and like Tom Brady and stuff, they're not playing in summer league.
That'd be the opportunity for like third stringers and practice squad people.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
You know what they need? They just need well, I guess they can't really do a minor league football, like minor league affiliates, because there's this, unless you just expanded the roster, and unless you just say, fuck it, bigger roster.
Or even just bigger practice squad. They can have a big expanded practice squad.
Right.
There we go.
Fun thing we should do, we should give each NFL team their affiliate and what city they should be in. I'm going to make a list of that while we're talking. I think that'd be fun. But I'll still be engaged. I just want to make a list.
Chicago's is in Omaha.
Okay. I don't know where Minnesota's would be unless it's still in Minnesota.
What's the Canadian city right across the border up north? Toronto.
Well, in like Minnesota or Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. I thought Winnipeg was close.
All right.
Yeah, no. St. Paul, it's actually closer to, it's like 5 hours away from, or like 7 hours away from, it's quicker from St. Paul to drive to Winnipeg than it is to drive to Chicago.
Then Detroit's can be Toronto. Because you go through out of Michigan to get to Toronto.
There we go.
It's right there.
Yep.
All right.
Or Toronto's never going to be good. It'd be cool, though. Not realistic, but I mean...
Well, I'm going to make one because I think it'd be fun.
There you go.
And then New Orleans would be in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, probably.
Where the Packers be?
Milwaukee.
The Packers would actually just demote their team to the minor league.
And then just win every single championship.
That's not a good idea, because they'd be better than everybody
Aaron
else.
Rodgers thrown up against the minor league, okay?
Yeah, but that's okay, because the NFL can be fine, and we don't have to deal with trash Packers fans in the NFL.
But I like Aaron Rodgers.
Well, it's okay to have wrong opinions.
Right.
Wow.
I don't support douche canoes. I don't know about you guys.
Rodgers is far from a douche canoe.
He's like the biggest.
Rodgers is an ultimate human.
The Packers affiliates will be here in 2 plus.
Sorry, I don't like guys that can't keep beautiful actresses like Olivia Munn as their girlfriends. So
Can't
You're
keep.
just jealous because he did a little bit more and Dan Kirkpatrick.
I think it is jealousy. You can see it in his face. Hey, but now he's with neither, and he's putting up MVP numbers.
Exactly.
But week 17, it was a fun week for football. Poor Miami. Didn't make playoffs.
No.
Didn't put up much of a game. Matt Barkley got to play.
Maybe next year, Miami. Maybe next year.
You did say they were a year away.
I did say they were a year away. Next year they'll be really good.
You said the same thing about the Cardinals, who also just so happened to fall out of the playoff
they're a
picture.
year away, and I think based on how I predicted them at the beginning of the year, they're already out of schedule because they were better than I thought they were going to be. They were both a win away from the play.
What they have gone?
They both. I think they both went 9-7, didn't they?
no.
No, Dolphins went 10-6.
No, I think I predicted Arizona
Yes. I predicted
Arizona did go 8-8. Yep. But yeah,
they're going to win.
Dolphins. If the Dolphins were in the NFC East, they'd be the champion.
Dolphins did better than I predicted. I thought the Dolphins were going to be like a 6 or 7 team this year, but
Dolphins didn't do as good as I predicted. Predict them to be a playoff team, but I'm curious to see what they do with Mr. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I mean,
Because
that was a quarterback I wasn't thinking.
I mean, he'll just go into free agency. I'm sure they have their quarterback.
I don't know.
they don't sign him on at a veteran minimum to just as a backup role. Why not? He knows the offense.
Exactly.
He's been proficient at it. You can get him for nothing.
True, and then when Tua
And
plays
then
bad
you
again,
can trade him to New England. So that way he plays in each of the AFC East teams.
Talking about teams to go to the minor leagues, New England is a minor league football team right now.
Not really.
Well, basically, when your wide receivers are throwing more touchdowns than your quarterback, you have a problem.
I mean, that's just a problem at like one position.
So
Not saying that the Patriots are just one position away. I'm just saying
No. When your quarterback is catching more passes than your wide receivers,
that's false. Cam Newton caught literally one pass this whole year.
how
Cam
many?
Newton's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone. I'm assuming Cam's going to end up on the football team, but
I don't think the Patriots are bringing Cam.
I don't think Cam's going to get a starting job.
that's why I think he's going to the football team.
Brian Ramirez, I'm going to bring him in as a backup. That's too much of a distraction.
Broncos?
No, we believe in Drew Lock. We believe. Did you watch it?
I do think they're going to go with Locke for at least another year.
Detroit.
No.
Okay.
But I am curious to see where
right.
Matt Stafford
Matt
goes.
Stafford isn't a free agent this year.
I'd love to see Stafford go.
He's
to the
a free
Colts.
agent next year.
Love
Yeah,
that.
that's where I want Stafford to go to the Colts. But it's probably not going to happen. Because it's probably Carson Wentz.
Cam might go to the Steelers.
But I was up against Mr. Carson Wentz there for a while. And then I saw that him and Zach Ertz and Jason Kelsey stayed at the rainy Eagles field
All
night until like 1:30 in the morning. And then it just made me feel for him. I'm like, he really did get screwed by a dumb coach.
Oh, Doug
I feel
Pearson's
so
terrible.
bad for him.
Doug Pearson's terrible.
I actually asked. I have a friend at work who's an Eagles fan, and I asked him today, how do you feel about Doug Pearson saying he wasn't really happy about it. He also was convinced they threw the game.
I mean, they did, but the media doesn't want to say that Doug Peterson said beforehand that he was going to let Nate Suffolk see the field, and he did what he said he was going to do. He just wasn't nice about it, I guess.
I saw an interesting tweet, and it was because I think Jalen Hurts went 7-20 for 72 yards in the first whatever, and it was like if that was Carson Wentz in there, Eagles fans would be cheering to drag him out. Eagles fans would be taking down to get Carson Wentz out of there.
Maybe. But I mean, it was a very slow burn with Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Listen, the thing I just think was so ridiculous about that game, it's like I understand that you don't have anything to play for in that game. I understand that completely. But here's the thing, and if you are moving on from Carson Wentz, so be it. I think it's time. Time for both parties to move on. Carson Wentz needs to find greener pastures. It's time. But the thing is if you believe that Jalen Hurts is your franchise guy, why take that moment away from him? Because here's how I view it. Like, yes, you may go up a couple spots in the draft, but one thing that's more valuable to me is to give your future franchise quarterback confidence and to know you have your guy. That is priceless. Because it was a close game. Imagine if Jalen Hurts gets in there and he beats Washington, knocks him out of the playoffs. That's a big thing for Jalen Hurts. And like, okay, we can ride with this guy. And a big thing for him going into next year, for the Eagles next year, it makes training a lot easier. It makes the offseason a little bit easier. It can even make the draft easier because that's one less position you have to worry about. And you just ultimately took that moment away from him. You just potentially shot his confidence for no reason. Or you just create animosity for no reason when there didn't need to be. The game was stolen from Jalen Hurts. He could have really proved himself in that moment. It was disappointing. Doug Pearson is a dummy.
I'm surprised they retained. I didn't think Doug Peterson was going to come back.
I thought they were going to fire him after that whole thing. I
was waiting for it today. I was like, it might happen.
They might be trying to trade him.
That's not going to happen. Who's going to trade for Doug Peterson?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, they might have Urban Meyer. The Jets will find somebody. Who? No clue.
Houston, Texas.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
he's better than Bill O'Brien.
Well, I think Bill O'Brien's a better coach. It's just that he became a GM, and that became the problem.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm almost thinking of Bill needs to get
I can't wait for him to go down to, where is he going down to? Alabama or something? He's going to be an offensive coach. There were talks about it. That'd be fun to see. Because then right after the next year, he'll be back taking a coaching position next year for the NFL.
So if there's any vacancies.
There is vacancy every year.
I think he could get a coordinator job in the NFL, offensive or defensive coordinator. There's coaches who just don't work as coaches but are good coordinators.
Did you guys see that Jason Garrett is getting interviewed for the Chargers job? I'm like, why?
Well, it's because the people,
no, you go first, actually.
It's because the people that own the Chargers are friends with, what's his name? Jimmy Johnson or something like that? No, Jimmy Johnson or something like that. And they're like Jason Garrett, and so they're like, ooh.
That is not as dumb as people may think. Because let's keep in mind, this is still a Jason Garrett team that has multiple division titles, multiple playoff appearances under his belt. He doesn't have to do much with this Chargers roster. And he's got his guy in quarterback.
I mean, he's helped Dak Prescott. Why can't he help Herbert?
Right. And now, do I think there's better options out there? Probably. Would I think it would be just out of this world crazy? Because you can't sit there and tell me that Jason Garrett can't coach. I just think that's silly talk. He can obviously coach. Things just didn't work. Like,
silly.
I really like Jason Garrett as a coordinator.
Well, it's like Mike McCarthy, for example. Things faded out. It happens. But you can't say he can't coach. He was a Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, again,
we see what happened this year.
No, okay, you can't really.
The locker room went against them at one point.
Well, right, and then they managed to rally the season and were a win away from potentially winning the division. So I don't think that's, considering all the injuries that they've had this year, I think that's pretty solid for what he's been able to do.
That is true.
Considering his defense is horrendous, he lost Dak Prescott, his offensive line has been just beaten up with injuries. Zeke's been terrible. And I understand that the division's bad, but they were still managed to be a win away when it looked like they could have been one of the worst teams in the league, and they managed to almost win that division. And again, he had a great run in Green Bay. It faded out. It happens. Happens to a lot of – happened with Philly and Andy Reid, and now look what Andy Reid's doing. That's just the way the NFL works sometimes. Sometimes it's just time to move on. Mike Zimmer's a great coach. It's time – sometimes it's just time to move on. That's just the way the NFL works sometimes. They do. Yeah,
and Mike Zimmer can come be the defensive coordinator in Green Bay.
That would be fun. I think Mike Zimmer he'd be the best defense coordinator in football. The problem is I think he's a proven enough guy to where he can get a coaching job, which is fair. He's earned that respect and earned that right. Because he is a fantastic coach. He's realistically a top 10 coach in football? Realistically?
I think maybe.
Yeah, I would say he's top 10.
I think Marvin Lewis is going to get a coaching job again.
No, I think he's done. Like he's just done.
He'll play a college job.
Yeah, he can get a college job.
Well, he's gotten interviewed by Detroit and the Chargers too.
You know, I think the Chargers should go out and get. It's risky. But it'd be such a good move for them. They should drop their pockets, give as much money as Eric Bieniemy wants. They should give him every dollar that he wants for multiple reasons. One, he's an offensive guru, and with Justin Herbert, that would just be amazing. That would be such a good fit, I think. And on top of that, you're taking away one of the best coordinators from your division rival, and you can get all that insight. Yeah, their offense will change a little bit, but you still have all that insight about all those players. Right from your backyard against the team that's going to challenge you the most for that division.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think he should go to Detroit and just get him out of the AFC West in general.
Nah, I think the Chargers should get whatever Bieniemy wants, you offer it or you match it.
I was really worried that there's a couple teams that were interested in Nathaniel Hackett, our offensive coordinator, but so far he's not in any interviews, which is good. So I don't want him to leave.
And I think the Packers have an advantage there because they're like in the playoffs, they're in the divisional round, so you wouldn't be interviewing him most likely until after the season. So it really gives.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't care. He wants out.
Which is crazy.
He wants to get paid.
But Nathaniel Hackett has been our offensive coordinator. Before he was the offensive coordinator that led Blake Bortles to the AFC Championship game.
Remember the Jags are good?
No, not really, but I remember it was that game.
Saxonville. That was good. What else happened? The Ravens killed the team. The Bengals.
Oh,
what?
I said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Astrud.
Yeah, it was quite the game. Lamar Jackson. Think he's going to do good in the playoffs finally.
Did they have over 400 rushing yards?
404 rushing yards.
404 rushing yards.
If they can do half of that this weekend, I think they'll be fine.
I wonder what the record all time is for most rushing yards in the year.
Gosh, I don't know, but Baltimore has to be close.
Like 6.
Because Lamar had 113. Oh, that's passing yards.
Only 113 passing yards.
That's good Lamar stats right there.
That's like good, what's his face? Kirk Cousins stats there, too.
That's true. Lamar had 97 yards. Gus Edwards, 60. Mark Ingram, 39. J.K. Dobbins, 160. Talk about a guy that really stepped up here recently.
So the Baltimore Ravens 404 is 5th all time. The other ones, the most is 423 by the New York Giants in the 1950. The Bengals rushed for 407 in 2000. The Bears rushed for 406 and 55. The Ravens now in 2021. And the Dallas Texans rushed for 398 in 61.
Who was the running back for the 2000 Bengals? You don't have to look it up, I know.
Who is it? Is it Chad Ochocinco?
No.
Who's the wide receiver?
Update on the Texans GM job. Nick Caserio is the new Texans GM, former Patriots director, player of personnel.
That's how you say his name?
Who is?
Caserio? Nick Caserio? Worked with the Patriots. How bad can he be?
Well, I mean, he worked with player acquisitions, and the player he got was Cam Newton. So
Mike Lombardi said he liked him. So, I mean, he's got people on his side.
Oh, shoot. Now that I say that, though, his name slips my mind. I really like this running back. Oh, played on the Patriots.
Oh, my gosh.
All that confidence just out.
That's rough. Well, while you think of that, the Raiders won in the last second game. That didn't matter.
Oh, I see, and it's funny. I didn't even know the Raiders won.
Yeah, all right.
I forgot about that game.
There was 3 minutes left. Jerry Jeudy scored a 92-yard touchdown. Right.
Okay.
Drew Lock looked
I saw that touchdown highlight, by the way. That was an incredible play by Jeudy.
That's why I'm feeling good after Jerry Jeudy had 5 drops last week.
Right.
Feeling good about it.
Corey Dillon. Why did his name?
And then Vic Fangio, we got the ball back with 1:48 or something like that. And instead of just running the ball, he takes a timeout and kind of gave the ball back to the Raiders, and
that's
lost at the last second. Yeah, Vic Fangio. He started the season. Remember, he started the season with some questionable time decisions.
Right.
And so that's how he had to end it. And now he's getting a new GM. So
have the Broncos hired their new GM yet?
Nope, but we're interviewing Champ Bailey.
Oh, that'd be former Bronco Champ Bailey?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that'd be.
The Broncos just gonna only have former players.
I feel like that's what they.
At some point.
I feel like that's what they try to do, but it's also just John Elway's way of locking up that ownership in a couple years.
Fair enough.
Don't like that, but people love John Elway, and I don't know why.
Well, I think they just like him as a player and a human being, I would think.
I've been a Broncos fan my whole life.
I would be frustrated if I was a Broncos fan.
Oh, I would be too.
He makes such dumb decisions. But he's like the winningest GM in Broncos history or something.
Is he really?
Yeah, but
he's been the Broncos GM.
He's been the Broncos GM for like 20 years, so I hope so.
I mean, fair enough.
Do you like just retire and then roll up to the GM spot?
Basically. Well, and like he basically fired himself and then promoted himself at the same time, and so I'm like, that's such a John Elway move.
He got 49ers was pretty close.
Yeah, that was a closer game than it should have been.
Seattle, I don't know. It's weird with Seattle. I don't know what to think of.
I can't trust them. That's the problem.
Right.
Did you see that David Moore thing?
Yeah, the extra catch.
Yeah, at the very end, instead of taking a knee, Russell Wilson did a little show pass to David Moore because David Moore was one catch away from his $100,000 bonus on his contract.
Oh, and David Moore's gotten a lot of time this year with like injury, so it's good to see that.
Yeah, I think that's his only catch in the game because he came in the game with only one catch.
It's a good thing Russ got it to him.
Yeah.
What other games? The Rams won.
They did. Chase Wolford looked fine. I mean, he was not very good, but our defense is cracked.
Yeah, it's a little too good for me.
Yeah, no, this is my team's defense. They're already taken, but they're cracked at football, my guy.
We do got to remember though, Kyler Murray went out for like 3/4 of the game.
No, he did, and that made a big difference. I won't deny it. But the Rams' defense has been good all year, regarding every circumstance. Yeah. But they ended up winning us the game.
Was the pick six off kind of the reason?
No, that was off their other guy, who actually is from USD, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Nice.
And he threw pick six.
Look at us, South Dakota, providing touchdowns.
Yeah, for some people.
We either provide touchdowns or we just score points. We either provide touchdowns or field goals.
Good way to put it, I guess. That'd been fair.
Yeah.
He's not technically retired, is he?
No, he's a free agent, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But Blankenship is too good.
Rodrigo is the GOAT.
I love Rodrigo.
Yeah, Packers did beat the Bears in a heartbreaker, but it didn't matter because I feel like the Bears found out that the Rams won it, and the Bears were like, "All right, we're okay." I don't know, but the Bears tried hard.
Yeah,
they looked better than they did the first time.
Rodgers passed 50 total touchdowns.
Yeah. Did he pass 50?
It's a new thing every week with Rodgers, though.
48 passing, 3 rushing. If MVS had caught that one touchdown, he would have been much closer to 50.
MVS dropped. I noticed MVS has been.
He had a 75-yard touchdown, and then the next series they run the exact same fucking play, and he's wide open down the field, and he just drops it.
He's like, I don't know, but he does that though.
But then he catches a really long touchdown.
Yeah, I don't understand.
If he would have caught that, he would have had another 75-yard touchdown.
Maybe he would have gotten a bonus for that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But that was a good game. The Saints killed the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater got benched.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
You think he's done? Like done?
Yeah, I think Carolina's going to draft a quarterback in the draft this
Zach
year.
Wilson or?
Either Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, whoever falls to that pick. Either Mac Jones.
Patriots, that's okay.
Okay.
You really want
Cam Newton to Teddy Bridgewater.
You really want these Panthers quarterbacks.
I didn't want Cam Newton.
Oh, you just were gifted him. I wanted Cam Newton to do good. The Chargers won, guys.
Yeah.
Good way for Anthony Lynn to go out. 5 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And then get fired. Poor guy. I feel like he knew it was coming, though.
Yeah, and honestly, I get it. He's a great leader. He's a great dude. But it's just, again, time for a change. I understand he has injuries and stuff have happened, but how many times we have to keep saying, this is the year the Chargers break out. This is it. This is
right.
it. And it doesn't happen.
It's all just depending on Derwin James, though.
Yeah, but even
the last time they had a healthy Derwin James, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, no, and that's true. But just even then, you have a guy like Justin Herbert. But also, I think a big thing too is Anthony Lynn's late game coaching decisions has costed them a lot of football games.
And don't forget Bagley's missed field goals.
Yeah.
Well, right, and obviously that's not on him, but I think that there's been bad coaching decisions late in games. A prime example was in the first game when they played Denver the first time, and Drew Lock had his cool little moment there.
That was great.
So you mentioned the Panthers a little bit ago, so I looked at the draft first, and I kind of went through the draft of that.
Yeah.
So the Panthers, this is the second time in the last 10 years the Panthers have picked in the top 10. And the last time they also picked at pick 8, and the last time they picked in the top 10 at pick 8, they drafted Christian McCaffrey.
Damn, so this guy is going to be good, huh?
Probably.
It's going to be a lot.
They also drafted number 8 last year? No, they drafted 10.
Well, the thing is Carolina has been a really solid drafting team because even this year, like Jeremy Chin has been a stud for them.
Yeah.
They drafted Brian Burns a couple years ago, and he's been good.
Derek Brown, I think.
Derek Brown's been solid. Like they're not a bad drafting team. And not to mention before that, they've had guys like Josh Norman,
right.
Cam Newton,
Right.
Steve Smith. If we want to go really far back.
What else? The Colts beat the Jaguars. It was closer than I wanted it to be. It was a little surprising to see the Colts giving up points to the Jags. But that's what you get with Philip Rivers, you know?
Right. That's just what happens when he's your quarterback.
That will be a fun playoff game. What else happened? The Titans. High-scoring game against the Texans.
Yeah, it's kind of close, wasn't it?
It was very close, 41-38.
So it was the same thing last time, huh?
Yeah, and the Texans had a chance to win it, but then,
They kind of just got ran all over.
came down to a field goal at the last second.
Yes.
The Titans made it this time.
Yeah, bank shot.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's out. He's hurt. He's done.
Who was it?
I don't remember his name.
Starts with an S.
Suck up.
Nope.
Ryan suck up.
He's on the Bucks.
Is he Bucks punter?
Kicker.
What?
I thought so.
I thought he was a Titans punter.
No, that's Brett Kern. You always called him Bert Kern. Because
Ryan Suckup is a place kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was 2009's Mr. Irrelevant. Final pick.
Ryan Suckup's been really good.
Sam Sloman.
That's right. Sloman.
Yeah.
I hope that he doesn't kick only bank shots. Although if he does only kick bank shots, he'll still be better than what Steven Gostkowski did at the beginning of the year.
That's fair. Matt Frater won beer for all of Detroit. Did you guys see that? Because him and Brandon McManus had whoever could make the longer field goal this year. And the Lions did it by 1 yard.
Well, how long was it? What was it?
57. 57, I want to say, because Brandon McManus had a 56.
Well, I know that
at some point.
Matt Prater kicked a 56-yarder to make it his, 50th? Or 40th?
Oh, that's what it was, I think. But, yeah, those Lions, man. Stafford's great.
Prater's great.
Frater's great. John Fox is great.
Who's that?
That's the punter. Great receivers. Or
no
great
defense.
receiver.
No defense.
Yeah, poor guys. I hope all those guys get good jobs somewhere. Because they're not going to do anything.
Matt Prater was a 59, which is tied for the second one. Yeah.
There we go.
Jason Myers kicked to 61. Otherwise, there's a 4-way tie at 59 and a 4-way tie at 58.
Brandon McManus is at 58.
59 is Chris Boswell, Greg Zuerlein, Josh Lambo, and Matt Prater. 58 is Harrison Butker, Brandon McManus, Tyler Bass, and Mason Crosby.
Yeah, so it was 1 yard.
Mason Crosby broke his career record in 58 this year.
Nice. I also saw Roger did successfully throw more touchdowns than punts.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers threw 2 more touchdowns this year than we punted. Aaron Rodgers threw 48 touchdowns this year. We only punted 46 times this year.
It's kind of crazy to think of.
It is a crazy stat.
But Patriots beat the Jets.
I want to.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold didn't look that horrible. I think the Jets really have something to think about now because Sam Darnold hasn't looked horrible.
The Jets are in very interesting territory heading into the draft.
They need to fire everybody and keep Sam Darnold. They need to put Sam Darnold in a whole new environment with whole new people.
Well, they can keep the one offensive lineman they drafted last year.
I meant personnel-wise. I meant personnel-wise more than player.
Yeah, because I think the thing with the Jets through this whole like crappy season is like they've proven they have some talent they can work with this roster.
Right, they should be at least a 6-win football team.
They should be. They honestly should be. Like they've had some things not go. Like they should have beat Denver the first time. Should have beat Oakland or Las Vegas. They should have beat New England the first go around. You know, so they should have at least 5 wins at the very least because they did lose to New England. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Then it's going to be interesting to see if the Jets trade their number 2 pick, if they do want to just get more picks and build around Sam Darnold with an actual roster. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to actually draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't want them
think
to.
So?
No,
I think it's going to be Justin Fields.
I think they're drafting Sewell.
You're watching too much ESPN. If you think that.
Well, Penei Sewell is...
No. ESPN...
That's what they're pushing
ESPN
right now.
Is pitching Jacksonville takes Justin Fields and Trevor still ends up in...
Because that was
ESPN needs to stop. Now, here's the thing. Let's see, because I know for like a hot second they were talking about Ryan Day being the head coach of Jacksonville.
That would be
if
crazy.
Ryan Day would have been the head coach of Jacksonville, that's an interesting conversation to have.
Then how do you not bring Justin Fields?
Exactly. How do you not bring him in?
Well,
I'm sure Jets fans are pulling for it.
Right, they're like, come on.
And again, I think the Jets are a better situation.
Than the Jags?
Yeah, no, I think the Jets are a better situation for Trevor Lawrence than the Jags after really thinking everything over.
Well, and you got to think about it with the Jags. Shad Khan said that he's not hiring a GM because he's taking control of the team. So it's going to be even worse.
Which is awful. I would hate that. And all of a sudden, Jacksonville, even though they'll get Trevor Lawrence, is the least attractive market. Well, one of the two between them and Detroit.
Right. It's another Jerry Jones situation.
Yeah. At least Jerry Jones. But the thing is at least Jerry Jones can draft players to an extent.
Jerry Jones drafts decently.
He does.
Right.
I think he does draft decently.
I mean, he got a soon-to-be paid, like, $40 million quarterback in the 4th round. So
yeah, like he brought in Dak Prescott, he brought in Zeke, he brought in that whole offensive line, like
even CeeDee Lamb this year, like
even CeeDee Lamb this year, and all that.
Michael Gallup the year before.
Yeah, Michael Gallup, and then I mean the defense has been bad this year, but Trayvon Diggs has been showing improvement as of recently.
Did he have that? He slapped the ball at DK Metcalf's hand. Was that him this year?
Trayvon Diggs, yeah, and that.
It was
5,000 scoring game.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs hasn't looked bad. I think that the bad thing about Jacksonville is that there's nothing desirable at all. Like, besides Robinson, their running back.
Well, they have a really good receiving core.
But, like...
Shenault, Chark.
Shenault isn't that great. Chark isn't a top. They don't have a top receiver.
The other guy. Oh.
D.D. Westbrook.
Yes.
He's not.
They really don't have a number 1 guy.
They don't have a number 1 guy. They don't have. They have a running back. That's about it.
I didn't really trade for him. Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson to where?
That's a great, funny story there.
Well, now here's the thing. Like, I'm sure this go round would be a little bit differently, but I'm sure. I know he doesn't want to be in Chicago anymore.
Send Allen Robinson to a team with a quarterback that can usually good.
We tried to get Allen Robinson before he went to the Bears. Allen Robinson chose the Bears over the Packers. He made that decision.
He made the wrong decision.
No, I don't think he did.
He'd be a number 2 Devontae right now.
Yeah, why would Allen Robinson want to be a number 2?
That's true. He would be a number 2
because he could probably still put up better numbers than he does in Chicago.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Put up number 1
but he makes
numbers.
more money in Chicago than he would in Green Bay.
That's true.
And he's the premier guy. So whenever realistically, Chicago's looked good. Allen Robinson's face has been behind it.
That's been mixed producing stuff when I do something.
Whenever they were looking good with Nick Foles, there's Allen Robinson's face behind it.
Sure. Buccaneers had a great game.
Yeah.
You know where Allen Robinson really shouldn't go? The Buccaneers. They already have enough of an identity issue.
Actually, I think they're kind of figuring it out over the last few weeks. If you see what their offensive production, I think they're starting to figure it out. And they're big.
It helps that Mike Evans isn't in, though.
Well,
I think Mike Evans would cause more problems.
I think it'll cause mainly in the red zone because Mike Evans is Tom Brady's favorite red zone target. He's been one of the top red zone targets in the NFL.
We'll just throw it to Gronk.
I mean, I get Gronk has been playing better over the last 5 weeks and that, whatever. But I think they're starting to figure the thing out. I wish they'd run the football a little bit more. But you know what? Brady is fighting father time again. He just threw for 40-plus touchdowns, over 4,600 yards, and it's just proof in the pudding that there was a lack of talent in New England, and he was kind of salvaging out wins for them, which is crazy. Now I don't think this is a whole Belichick needed Brady. I don't. I think they both needed each other. Which is such a cheesy, crappy answer because that's not fun for debates. But I think they both need each other. If Bill Belichick gets his quarterback and gets some weapons around his new quarterback, I think they're back in business.
Right.
Maybe not winning the division because that division's going to be. The AFC East could be really interesting over the next 10 years if things pan out.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, if Tua gets better, if the Jets draft Justin Fields, and then if New England can get their guy, I think they're going to I think they're actually going to bring back Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it's going to happen. I think Bill Belichick. Well, first off, we know Bill Belichick. That's evident. They did not want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
That was actually the first kind of thing with Bill Belichick and Brady. That was the slow beginning, but the end, or beginning of the end. Yeah, and I think they're going to bring him back. I think he'll know the system really, really well, and get him, and then get him a wide receiver. It's a stacked wide receiver class. You can get a really good wide receiver in the second round.
What? Let Julian Edelman go.
Yeah, maybe let Julian Edelman go. Or if not, he'll come back. He'll be a fun little slot guy for you.
Do you think that New England could draft a quarterback at 15?
They could.
I don't think that's a Bill Belichick thing to do, though.
I also don't know if there's a quarterback that they want that bad in the draft. That'll be available at that point. Because we know...
I assume...
Well, because we obviously know that Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson will go in, and Trey Lance will probably go in the top 10. And then at that point, it's like Mac Jones, and they could draft Mac Jones, but I think that there's a lot of teams before that could take Mac Jones, or teams that could trade up and would give up more to get Mac Jones. So, and the Patriots don't like to use their picks anyway, so why not just trade your first-round pick for a guy who's been in the system, a guy who's proven like he almost won a Super Bowl with the 49ers. So why not go that route? And if it doesn't work out, well, then, try again next year.
Do you think if Trey Lance slips to 15 for no reason?
Oh, yes. If Trey Lance, for some odd reason, and if he has a bad combine, slips to 15, I feel like New England has to swipe in on that.
I think if there's a run, if there's 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 5 or 10 picks, I think he can potentially fall because
he could. But
once the teams that grab quarterbacks right away, there's going to be a lot of teams that there's a lot of really good talent left, and they're going to try to snatch up all these really good guys.
Yeah. The thing that I kind of wonder about though is teams that might reach quite a bit. I think Chicago's actually going to trade up and get Mac Jones, and then at that point it's Mitch
Trubisky.
Yeah, no. This time they won't give up their whole future for Mitch Trubisky.
I'll quit being a Bears fan if they don't resign.
Yeah, you're not even a Bears fan. Mitch Trubisky, just a Mitch.
Actually, it's funny. Do you want to guess who I have Chicago trading their pick with? Denver. I think they're going to trade with Denver since Denver's riding with Drew Lock for another year.
All right.
Trade up.
All right.
Because I do think Drew Lock will be in Denver for another year. I think they want to see him with a fully healthy, non-COVID year with a new head or New GM, new system. He's going to have Jerry Jeudy back and stuff, who is, look like he's going to be a stud. Cortland Sutton. Yeah, forgot about Cortland Sutton.
That's been our problem the whole year.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you have a receiving core of KJ Hamler, right. Jerry Jeudy,
underrated,
Cortland Sutton. It's going to be hella good.
So where do you see quarterbacks going? Because let's say hypothetically it goes Lawrence Field 1-2. Who would take Zach Wilson? Who's your top team needing a quarterback? Atlanta at 4, Detroit at 7.
I think both of them take quarterbacks.
Was Atlanta and Detroit?
Yes, and Dallas.
Dallas is 10. Yeah,
I understand, but I think Dallas is also going to take a quarterback. And I think Jerry Jones is going to let Dak walk. He's going to regret it for the rest of his 10 years of life.
They've been pretty adamant that Dak is their guy.
I think it's not only adamant, but if this year's proven anything, they need Dak Prescott.
Fluff.
Well, I mean, I could see that, though. That's the problem. I could see Jerry Jones doing that.
It's all up to Dak. Negotiations is all up. He has all the cards.
Jerry Jones does not like to admit when he's wrong. That is something we have learned.
Yeah, and again, Dak Prescott was on pace to if Dak Prescott was healthy the whole year, Dallas probably would have had the division wrapped up.
A month ago, maybe.
And they might have, I think the football team might actually be able to do some things because they have shown a lot of flashes of being good. I think they can't take down super teams in Green Bay.
That's the thing. Because, obviously, Washington's strong point is their front seven. Their front seven is cracked. It's ridiculous how good it is.
And they have a good enough secondary to back it up.
They do. Yeah, their defense is good, and Ron Rivera is a very good coach.
They have offensive pieces that are great.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson. Brandon Sheriff at the offensive line. God bless Alex Smith.
Yeah,
he finds a way to win games.
That's true.
That's all I can really say about him. He's a gamer.
The only thing is Alex Smith has had a hard time against Tom Brady.
Yeah, he won't this week.
Plot twist: Trey Lance falls to 14 in Minnesota, grabs him 21.
Oh, I would.
There's no chance that happens, but that would be amazing.
They wouldn't draft quarterback at all.
Oh no, they would. If Trey Lance fell to their lap like that, they would definitely take him. I just don't think
especially if Trey Lance, he's not local, but he's local.
Well, the thing is if Trey Lance, let's say he has a bad combine, because obviously he didn't play this year because
that's what I'm thinking.
So if Trey Lance has a less than impressive combine or pro day, he could fall.
If you look at a lot of the teams above them,
if I was Trey Lance, I would want to have a bad pro day. Thinking about it,
I don't think Dallas will draft a quarterback. The Chargers won't draft a quarterback. Philadelphia won't draft a quarterback. Cincinnati won't draft a quarterback. San Francisco might draft a quarterback.
I think they will. Well, I think they're going to trade up hella and get a quarterback.
San Francisco?
Yeah,
San Francisco's going to get a corner.
You think so?
Yeah, they're going to look to free agency for a quarterback.
Oh, forget.
So is Richard Sherman done in San Fran?
Yes, Richard Sherman's not going back. He said he's not going to.
Rip Sher.
He said he's going to test free agency.
He'll go to Super Bowl team.
He'll honestly probably end up finding his way onto the Chiefs.
He'll ring chase.
He'll somehow, with their $2 of cap space, find a way onto the Chiefs.
Yeah, they do have a problem, those Chiefs, and getting players somehow on that cap space.
Yeah.
I think they're cheating. They should be investigated.
But I could also see them going to, I hate to say it, really hate to say it, I could see the Packers getting him.
I don't know.
Sherman. Play somebody opposite of Jair Alexander.
Kevin King this year, so we're not going to have CD2. I also, if the Packers drafted a cornerback with their first pick, that wouldn't surprise me at all. We draft we probably draft 30 to 32 probably.
As of right now, they have the 31st overall pick.
We draft at 31. We probably would take a corner.
I would say they could draft 3 positions. They're going to draft a corner. They're going to draft a linebacker, interior linebacker, or interior defender.
Yeah, and I think Kamara Kyron Barnes has been great this year. Kyron Barnes is like one of the second or third highest rated rookie running linebacker.
Yeah,
I think actually rated higher than Patrick Queen this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who was people everybody thought we should take. And Kamal Martin's been pretty solid too. He's been hurt, but he's been good when he's out.
Yeah, I personally think they're going to go linebacker. I mean, again, you can go one. I think they'll go linebacker. I made a mock draft. I think they're going to draft Nick Bolton, inside linebacker out of Missouri. Solid guy, solid player, by the way.
Who else needs a quarterback?
Let's see.
Well, Gardner Minshew will be a starting quarterback next year.
I mean,
I think he will
potentially, or some team might be desperate enough and trade for him.
I'm saying
what I
he's
think's
going
gonna happen.
to.
Oh, you're just not saying it's for Jacksonville.
It's not for Jacksonville.
Well, there's Atlanta, Detroit, Carolina could maybe draft one. Giants could maybe draft one. San Francisco could maybe draft one. Minnesota could maybe draft one. New England, Las Vegas, or are they sticking with Derek Carr?
I don't know.
They have like three
Washington.
meh.
See, if Las Vegas does move on, Derek Carr will find his way.
But you gotta remember, when has Gruden done anything?
Listen, I personally think Derek Carr's really good, but
yeah, he is. And I think
I don't think anybody thinks he's not.
I know. It's
except for John Gruden.
Except for John Gruden.
John Gruden's like, man, you didn't put up 800 passing yards that game.
John Gruden will probably draft some sixth rounder.
Derek Carr, man, I tell you what.
I've done it for 2 years.
Back in my day, I had an MVP quarterback in Rich Gannon, man. I tell you what, man. I tell you what, Rich Gannon with the Spider Dwight Banana, that defense. I mean, hey.
Madden loves Rich Gannon this year, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, he is the highest.
Oh, like an Ultimate Team?
Yeah. He is the highest rated card for quarterback right now.
Do you think Big Ben's finally going to retire?
Yes.
I hope that he does, but I feel like he's not going to.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. I think
the Steelers are gonna try to get.
I think they're gonna try and make one last run next year. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Because Juju's a free agent at the end of the year.
They'll let him walk.
And I think they're going to let him walk.
With Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson playing out, there's no reason to pay Juju money.
And isn't there a Washington guy that's the receiver?
Deontay Washington or something?
Yeah, he's been playing good too.
Mm-hmm.
Juju Smith-Schuster has not shined amongst his peers, and his peers are getting way less money than him, so there's no reason for them to pay him a lot of money.
And then my problem with that is, where's Juju going to go?
Oh, there's a team that will pay
the Bears or something. But, I want Juju to go to a team that I like. You know what I mean?
You like the Bears. But Mitch
won't be there, according to Noah.
Damn it, Noah.
And so I
want to ruin the dreams.
Mitch to Juju?
I think you will. I think Mr. Smith will go backwards here.
I hope
really?
So.
Oh, Lord.
I wanted to. What do you mean?
Well, no, I understand you want him to, but it's not going to happen.
I think he's going to surprise
Trask eligible for...
He's this year, but he will not be a first-round pick.
I think he's a third-round projection.
He's the way he played in the last, couple of games, he will be a third-round pick.
Coastal Carolina, man. Screwed him over. But,
Coastal Carolina was good, though, this year.
Don't get me wrong, but
Kyle Trask seems like he's going to be, a carbon copy of, not like a carbon copy of the nice Tim Tebow, but he gives me Tim Tebow energy.
Why does he give you Tim Tebow? Just because he went to Florida?
Heisman candidate. He has that, boxy head to it.
He's handsome.
Does he love Jesus with all his heart?
He seems though.
I don't know, actually. I guess I don't know. I mean, obviously, comparing anybody to Tim Tebow
he's going to be Tim
fair.
Tebow. He's going to be like if you took Tim Tebow and Carson Wentz and they had a baby.
I don't know if I like that.
And that baby is Trevor Lawrence.
No. Contrast.
I don't like that.
Trevor Lawrence is just Phineas from Phineas and Ferb grown up.
Who's Ferb?
We don't know where Ferb is.
Okay.
But if you just look, because his head's so triangular, and he has red hair.
Real talk, though, about Trevor Lawrence. He looked not good at all against Ohio State. Why is it not being talked about?
It's because it's all a ploy because he doesn't want to go to the Jags.
Yeah, but why isn't it being talked about? You think it'd be even hyped up more if Justin Fields would have played like Trevor Lawrence?
Well,
Justin Fields would have tanked. Why
Fields
isn't
would've
Trevor
dropped to
Lawrence at least
15.
getting a little, push? I think it happened.
Because he's done well beyond enough to prove that he is the best quarterback in this class, even though he had one bad game against a very, very, very good Ohio State team.
Fumbled like 3 times.
Okay. I don't know. I guess for me, that just isn't enough to...
Like, he didn't have... Like, if you look at the stats, he's not going to have... It's not a bad stat game. It just... Though he didn't play a good game. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's really going to be that big of a deal, because I guess how I view it is that Trevor Lawrence has done well enough, like well beyond enough to prove he's the best quarterback, and that they don't really, like, one bad game against a really good Ohio State team, and
Ohio State was ranked 11 by somebody.
Well, right. He was ranked 11th, but in all reality, we all know they're not the 11th best team in the country.
Yeah, they're the best.
They
beat Alabama.
They very well could be.
This upcoming Monday, live on ESPN.
They might postpone it, apparently.
Yeah, I saw that because Ohio just decided they wanted to go COVID crazy again.
Yeah, well, and then apparently now some guys at Alabama are saying that, oh, no, we're going to play it on time. And it's just, I don't know, weird situation.
Why don't you just... I want a good game. I don't want a COVID-riddled game.
Yes,
where,
I don't either. I do not either.
I did see that Waddle could potentially play.
I did see that as well. That would be insane. Jalen Waddle proves that it's gonna be funny because Jalen Waddle is a better receiver than Devontae Smith. He is, and how sad would it be if Devontae Smith, who's getting all this draft love, just won the Heisman, and Jalen Waddle just comes in there and just proves, oh, that's right, Jalen Waddle's better than him. Sorry,
love
Devontae.
that so much.
I would feel bad for him, but it'd be hilarious.
But that's basically it for Week 17 and the draft.
Yeah, it was kind of rules of the place, but it was fun.
Yeah, did you guys see the Hall of Fame finalists?
I did, and I am happy about it.
It is stacked beyond a reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm. So we got my boy Peyton Manning.
Of course.
First ballot.
Megatron.
He doesn't deserve.
Troy
Peyton
Holt.
Manning does not deserve.
This is not Troy Holt's first time in the finals, isn't it, right?
Really?
You are correct. This is not Torrey Holt's first time as a finalist.
Go get it this year, though.
I don't know. This class is pretty stacked.
Special receiver.
Reggie Wayne.
There's Reggie Wayne.
There's Leroy Butler.
Leroy Butler is an underrated guy.
I don't think he'll make it this year, though.
No.
But neither will Reggie Wayne.
John Litch probably won't make it again. Rondé Barber.
No.
Charles Woodson.
First ballot.
Yes.
Charles Woodson.
Jared Allen. I hope he makes it.
Nope.
I'm on the fence if he'll make it or not.
Make it.
He deserves to make it. Richard Seymour.
That's a toss-up. Because I feel like his talent was not really there, but he won Super Bowls.
That's fair. Clay Matthews Jr. Not the one that's currently technically in the league.
No.
That did not play good on the Rams. I think his dad, right?
Yeah.
Yep, his dad. And
I
then
think so. He's been off. This is not his first year eligibility. He's been off. He played like in the 70s and 80s.
do you think he'll make it?
I don't think he's ever gotten this far before. So.
Oh, hey! Congratulations, Clay Matthews.
I really hope the next two people make it.
Sam Mills and Zach Thomas.
Yes.
Yep.
Zach Thomas is, if not one of the best middle linebackers to ever play the game. There's not a lot of people ever putting ahead of him.
Von Miller. We're not going to talk about Von Miller, but did you see what happened with Von Miller?
No.
Look up Von Miller on Twitter.
Right.
Oh, my
Why are we
God.
talking about it?
Because we don't want to bring it up. We don't want to start that controversy. But I am not Team Von Miller on this one. But we should re-sign him. We should take his team option and keep him. But, I mean, if we don't, there's an easy out to why we didn't.
Oh!
Yeah. It's not good.
Oh, my God.
But Zach Thomas.
Yeah, we're not talking about this on the air. That's brutal. That is.
Right. And then Alan, how do you say that name? Fancia?
What's that?
How do you say that name? Alan Fancia? Faneka. See, I knew I was going to get
He
that
should be
wrong.
first ballot. He's incredible.
And then Tony Baselli.
Also incredible. I mean, obviously, if you're at this stage in the Hall of Fame voting, you're pretty damn good, but...
Right.
That is awful. That is...
Yeah.
Ooh.
Poor Vaughn, right? Especially when it's like everything that's... Not poor Vaughn.
Yeah.
But
I
with
agree.
everything that's happened to him this year,
It's just...
and then to add that on top of it, it's like, dude can't goof.
Random college basketball thought. The Gophers are 16th in the AP polls. Fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
don't they face Michigan tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan's ranked 11th, I think. That's crazy. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the Hall of Fame.
I'm excited.
Me too. Before we get to our pick'ems, I would like to bring up the point that Josh Jacobs got a DUI.
I did see that.
Just because, he's a Raider. And I hope he's punished. I hope the Raiders are punished for not keeping him quarantined. But that probably won't happen.
What, was there an accident too? Or did he get into a car accident? No.
Yeah, he was drunk driving while getting in a car accident. Why couldn't it happen last week, right?
Oh, those are some interesting statistics.
But it's not even the first. It's weird because it was like a month ago, Melvin Gordon got a DUI in an accident. I feel like running back, like there's been like 5 or 6 running backs that have gotten DUIs this year.
Maybe it was one person getting running backs drunk and then making them drive home. No, you're good to drive.
That's a great theory. It's all in the AFC West. So, I mean...
Patrick fucking Mahomes.
He's doing it.
Hey, Melvin Gordon, want to come out to the bar with me?
Those are great stats. Yeah, I think Clay Matthews is better than Brian Urlacher. Is he a better human than Brian Urlacher, too, I'm assuming?
Matthews, better human, not better player.
I think he's better both. Look at these stats. How do you... I guess you can argue, but... I think Zach Thomas is better than Brian Urlacher, too. 2 more games. 60 more tackles. 1,000 more assists, basically. But yeah, playoffs are starting up this week.
Yes, they are.
To start off, we have a rematch. We didn't talk about this game, really, but
I didn't.
we might as well talk about it. Browns Steelers 3.0.
It wasn't that interesting. The Browns beat Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
The Steelers kept it closer than the Browns probably wanted it to.
Yeah, the Browns didn't do what I was hoping. But, so I think the Steelers benched 12 starters in total.
Yeah.
And this week they'll all be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to put the Steelers to win this game.
Yeah. Well, for me to be right, I wanted to put the Steelers. In my heart, I'm going with my team. Even though Kevin Stefanski will be out, most likely, because there are talks that it was a false positive, because, 5 or 6 coaches got it all in the same day, and none of the other tests came back positive. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But who's the longest tenured Brown? He got the thing from Kevin Stefanski, the game ball, and now he's out with COVID, close contact. I don't remember his name.
What position does he play?
Offensive line, I think.
Batonio?
There we go.
Where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. He's out too.
Yep, he's out.
Damn.
Finally going to make a playoff game. So, I mean, it's not looking good for the Browns.
No, but in my heart, I want them.
But the Steelers aren't that good offensively, so there's hope.
Yep. Big Ben throws a pair of interceptions.
Here we go.
6.
There we go.
The Browns win only because Big Ben has one of his worst career games ever.
There we go.
Then Big Ben retires.
I love it.
24-21 Browns.
I also have 24-21 Browns.
Oh, you do?
Yep, I think the Browns somehow find a way to get they'll win this week, and then they'll lose next week against whoever they face.
Myles Garrett is just going to rock Big Ben's world.
I was so upset that Mason Rudolph and Myles Garrett squashed their beef. Gosh, it squashed my dreams. But what do you guys think?
Listen, I also want Cleveland to win so bad, but I just know it's not going to happen.
Mr. Reasonable over here.
Someone has to be the Debbie Downer of the group, and I will take the fall there. They don't have their head coach. They don't have one of their top offensive linemen. They are weak in the secondary because of injuries. They're weak on defense, period, because of injuries. They could barely beat the Steelers' backups. Mason Rudolph outplayed Baker Mayfield. It's just a recipe for disaster for Cleveland. I don't even really know why I had the game being this close. This game could really get ugly. I think it's going to be 34-17 Pittsburgh.
Well, see, I am just putting my wills into fruition today. I have Cleveland winning 29-23 because Big Ben is going to be bad.
Big Ben is bad.
Ben, we're going to see Big Ben like week 13 against the Jags throwing 5 picks 2 seasons ago bad.
Okay, before we get to your predictions, has anybody seen this flop from a Kentucky football player?
I've not. Oh, this is where he like dies? Yeah, I saw this one.
Look at this. Wait, one sec.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too. I so don't blame him.
Oh, I have seen that.
It's so bad. It's so fucking funny.
I would do the same thing.
He pushed him.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Just done.
I saw his comment to that tweet. He's like, I looked down with my phone and looked up, and I thought I saw some dead motherfucker. I thought they really killed him out there.
Believe him.
Oh, God, bless your hearts. I hope Cleveland wins, but they're not going to.
Hey, you never know. You can never be too sure. That's interesting. We won't talk about that, though. We can save it for later. Bears are going up against the Saints on Nickelodeon. It'll be a fantastic matchup. SpongeBob will be on the call. Halftime show. We don't know who it is, but we can only hope
it'll actually going to be on the call.
Yeah, they're going to have some sprinkled in.
Tweeted something.
Yeah, 1/7/21. And they're going to have, like, slime and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to watch it, I think.
I don't have Nick, so I won't be watching the Nickelodeon.
I won't be watching it through Nickelodeon, but I'll be watching it the Nickelodeon stream.
I'm going to be at work.
I don't know. It sounds interesting. I know, like, you couldn't have chose a worse game to do it with, but...
It'll be kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be kind of funny. But the weird thing is they showed Aaron Rodgers in all their promos. Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball and, like, green slime coming out behind it. And then it's the Bears that are... But, I'll let you guys go.
Bears are going to lose. They're going to lose. They're the worst team. Their offense is worse than the Saints, and I think the Saints' defense is on par with the Bears' defense.
Saints' defense is better than the Bears' defense.
So the Saints.
Whoa! That is
so the Saints are better in both aspects. I had 38-14. I think David Montgomery might have a rushing touchdown, but I think the Saints will do just fine in this game. Even without Alvin Kamara, I'm not that terribly worried about it.
See, I think the Bears defense will be able to slow down New Orleans a little bit. So it's going to be 24-9. The score is actually a touchdown with an extra point and a safety.
Oh. Kanye.
This is the perfect game to put on Nickelodeon because this is going to be an ugly game.
It's also going to be on ABC.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. But this is going to be pure drubbing. Yeah, even if they don't have Kamara, and I kind of expect him to play, even though he's shaky right now, I expect him to play. they're just superior. The defense will shut down Mitch Trubisky. The Bears are just an overall better football team. In their biggest game,
the Bears are just an overall better football team.
The Saints.
You said the Bears.
Oh, I meant Saints.
Noah's on your side.
Let's go.
That means Noah's score is Bears 41-10. I don't know if the Bears can score that much, Noah, but
they won't. In fact, they'll only score 10 points. The Saints will score 41. But I also I don't know. The Bears needed their biggest game of the year, and they had it at home. I mean, they got in still, but they got destroyed by the Packers.
See, you're gonna be sad when the Bears do win. I gave you a chance to just call it. I gave you an out, and you had to take it.
I will not take that. I will gladly be right on my New Orleans pick. 41-10 Saints.
All right.
You know, if the Bears win, I'm okay with that. I really couldn't care less.
Not if you're bold enough to call it.
Runs through Lambeau.
So I will
happily play the Bears in Lambeau.
You'll probably happily play anybody in Lambeau.
Yeah. Especially the Bears.
Yeah.
You want to play
the only person
again?
He doesn't want to play in Lambeau is the Bucs.
Fair enough. I mean, I think Packers.
Completely different game this time around. I think
it will be, but I think Tampa could go into Lambeau and beat them.
I don't. But back to the Bears Saints.
Okay, and also. Sorry, this is just a tidbit with that. I hate it when people are, and this isn't just like not saying you're saying this, but like everybody too is like, it's gonna be interesting when Tampa goes if they go into Lambeau in the cold weather. Y'all realize Tom Brady's the quarterback. He played in New England.
It's just Tom Brady.
No, I understand that, but he still will bring that leadership to the locker room as he's done all year. Now again, it may not make that much of a difference, but I think it does. Like Tom Brady
makes practice squad quarterbacks into Super Bowl MVP receivers. Just saying.
I think it'll be a good game if they do play. I'm just saying, like, I just hate the enigma of, like, Florida team.
Well, when last Tom Brady had a good team and a good game that you can think of in the cold?
Well, the reason that
Brendan, would you like to help me out with this? Should we just
I literally just watched a video that was about Matthew Slater talking about games in the cold, and there's the one where there's 47 against the Arizona team that went to the Super Bowl. There's the Tennessee game where Randy Moss put up 4 touchdowns.
Brendan, should we bring up anytime the Patriots played in the AFC Championship?
The reason why there is that narrative, though, is because there was a lot of talk after the Bucs-Bears game that a lot of the Bucs players struggled in the cold and Soldier Field. Yeah. Not Tom Brady, but some of the other Bucs players. And I think that's why the narrative
Tom Brady's only problem in that game was his Alzheimer's.
That's true. If Brady wasn't so old and didn't have Alzheimer's for that quick second, they probably would have won the game.
Yeah, honestly. That was 4th down?
Yeah. All you see is Brady.
So the Bears are going to win this football game.
Bears are going to win.
It's going to be a great game. Mitch Trubisky's going to throw 3 touchdowns. We're going to re-sign Mitch Trubisky.
Let's go.
Mr. Bears
re-sign Mitch Trubisky.
4 years.
4 year, $340 million.
No, we can give him 100. He'll take a
Could you imagine if Mitch Trubisky does pull this win out of his ass? You would have to sign him,
You
right?
have to re-sign him. He can get bounced in the second round just fine. He needs a playoff win to solidify that extension.
You're saying that Mitch Trubisky's at this point where we're talking an extension, all because he came back in and played well, and now they're in the playoffs.
4 years. 4 years, $150 million. He makes more a year than Rodgers, Stafford, or
it'll probably be like 4 years, $10 million, and we'll be like, damn, that's $10 more million I thought I'd make.
They're lower, man. That's a pretty Bears thing to do.
It is a Bears thing to do.
But yeah, Bears get the win this one. The Saints could possibly be without Michael Thomas. A little logic thrown in there. The Saints could be without Michael Thomas.
And Alvin Kamara.
They could be without Alvin Kamara.
And the rest of their running backs.
They have Ty Montgomery. Ty Montgomery looked okay. It's fine.
Ty Montgomery had 11 carries for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, so that's pretty good. He's 10 yards per carry and a couple touchdowns.
I'd be interested to see what Drew Brees does in a playoff game without his 2 stars.
Well, I mean, they've been missing Michael Thomas. How many games have actually played this year?
That's true, but playing a good defense like the Bears?
Kamara will be, the bigger. I don't think Michael Thomas is that big of a deal, but I think Kamara is going to be the real shot to the foot if they don't have.
I sure hope they don't have Kamara, so the Bears can win. But yeah, that's that game.
Before we get on to our next game, I have a question for Noah specifically.
For Russo,
what's up?
Is Mr. What's his name?
John Warford.
Jerry Garoppolo.
No.
John Gruden. Jerry Jones.
No.
Jimmy Johnson. Jerry Judy.
Goff. Jared Goff.
What? You were having trouble with that name?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Is Mr. Jared Goff the new Rex Grossman?
Explain.
Rex Grossman. Super inconsistent, but brought his team to the Super Bowl.
Okay, here's the thing though, is when the Rams did go to the Super Bowl, Jared Goff was not inconsistent. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, or at least he played like it. And
when
now he's
Rex Grossman went to the Super Bowl, what was Rex Grossman that year?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Just to lose to Peyton Manning's Colts, but is Jared Goff the new Rex Grossman? He's on a year, off a year, on a year, off a year.
No, the thing is it's more game by game, not even year, because he was really bad his rookie year because we were terrible. The team was terrible. Had a really good 2-year stint with Sean McVay. Last year was not great. And then this year he's been like mad inconsistent, game by game. Not even like year, it's game by game. Sometimes it's quarter by quarter.
Jeff Fisher was the coach before Sean McVay. Is that correct?
He was correct. I don't miss. Ask me if I miss those days.
You miss it?
No,
I bet you really do.
I don't miss those days. The only thing I miss about it is we had 1st-round picks. That's it.
There was a commercial for I think DraftKings that had.
We don't support.
Do you want Jeff Fisher to draft your fantasy lineup? Former NFL coach Jeff Fisher. I'm like,
no.
Well, that's why DraftKings is number 2 to FanDuel. Because FanDuel pulls in the GOATs like Charles Barkley and Pat McAfee, and DraftKings.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor us. That's not going to happen.
Or DraftKings if you want to sponsor.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, DraftKings. I'm FanDuel for life. I deleted my DraftKings.
Hey, yo, quick shout out to Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Sponsor us. And come on the show.
By the way, Pat McAfee. The Pat McAfee show been going off the past 3 weeks with viewers and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, his show just hit a new level. It's crazy because he keeps giving money away for it too. Like, all right, there's 55,000 viewers right now, like at the end of the show or whatever. So we're giving $5,500.
Pat McAfee.
What?
If you're listening to this, I turned 21 in April, and I've always just wanted to sit and have a beer with you. Not that I even like beer, but just because having a beer with you would be a memorable.
I wouldn't even drink with Pat McAfee. I would just watch him drink.
I would do anything with Pat.
I would do anything with Pat McAfee.
Well, if you could do one thing, what would it be?
Drink with Pat.
I think
Field punts.
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
I think I'd play him in Oculus boxing. That's his thing right now.
I love that man.
Yeah, I do too. Rams Seahawks. It's gonna be a game.
It will be a good game. I'm just sad.
They split this season.
They did.
Did you see my score?
Oh.
So I'll go first. I have the Rams winning this game. I think Seattle's been inconsistent recently. They struggled last week against San Francisco. I think I know it's playoffs now, but it's still a division opponent, and I think the Rams defense is really good, and I think they're going to be able to shut down Russell Wilson. So give me 15-14 Rams in a defensive slugfest.
See, I have basically the same script, the same story, with literally just the slightest difference in score. 14-13 Rams.
See, I have 2 Seattle touchdowns, a Rams touchdown, a field goal, and a safety into the 15.
I have 7 safeties from the Rams.
Holy
That would be fucking insane. I would love that.
Aaron Donald, 5 safeties on the
And then Leonard Floyd.
God, that would be amazing. I would love that.
It's probably not going to happen, but it was just fun.
It's probably not going to happen.
But no, I think the Rams will win regardless.
I am not sold on winning this game. Rams have the better defense, but Seattle has the better offense. And DK was stopped last time. Tyler Lockett was stopped last time. I think they'll find a way to get some production, enough production. It's not going to be high scoring. It's going to be 17-13. But I think in this NFL that we're in, I think offensive wins. And so I think the Seahawks are going to win in the next round.
Fun fact, quick. The Rams do have the record for most safeties in one game. They scored 3 safeties in 1984 against the New York Giants.
Of course they did.
They're going to beat it with 7 against the Seahawks. No, my biggest thing is the Rams defense is way better than Seattle's, ranked number 32 defense.
I don't think they're ranked number 32 right now, are they?
Not more.
No, but
No chance.
At one point they were. I mean, Carlos Dunlap is a change. I think they're probably 25th now.
I don't know.
Hey, Ben, while we're on that topic of their defense, what do you think about getting Snacks Harrison?
I'm happy about it. I'm really excited.
What?
Yeah, we last week we signed Snacks Harrison.
Seahawks cut him because the Seahawks didn't start him last week, and so we got pissed off at him.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I mean, I think he's a good low risk signing who's going to be a good run stuffer.
I agree.
And our run defense actually has been better. And actually, our Packers finished 9th total defense throughout the year.
That's pretty fucking
And
good.
the only other time in Aaron Rodgers' career he's finished with a top 10 defense, it's when he finished 8th back in 2010 and won the Super Bowl.
Noah,
Right.
you would know this. Are your running backs back?
They are.
Oh, good.
Cam Akers will play. Daryl Henderson will play.
Nice.
My
Cooper
biggest
Kupp
thing,
will be back.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
all of those players coming back makes the Rams
And Jared Goff might be back.
And all that, if Jared Goff comes back, I'm gonna just say Jared Goff's coming back, just because we're willing things into fruition. That should be the name of the podcast this week. Jared Goff will be then they have a mid-level offense and a top-rated defense going against a top-rated offense and a low-rated defense, which averages to the Rams' victory. Noah, shit on your team.
All right, Noah, I like what you're going to say here.
All right. I love this team. I do. I'm happy we made the playoffs. I thought we were going to be an 8-win team. We were a 10-win team. We proved everybody wrong. We proved that we can still compete. Our defense was better this year. Next year will be very interesting. Whether Goff plays or he doesn't, there's one difference in this game that will just ultimately decide it. Who do the Seahawks have a quarterback?
Russell Wilson.
He's
not even in the MVP race at this point. Not gonna lie.
No, he's not.
Have,
Geno Smith.
no. Packers quarterback. Backup.
Brett Hundley.
Brett Hundley. Don't we have Brett Hundley still, too?
Oh, yeah, it's the third string, yeah.
Yeah, Brett Hundley.
So wait, Geno Smith is second string?
Yeah, he's the backup.
Oh, Jesus.
Brett Hundley's not good.
Neither is Geno Smith.
Geno Smith is a lot better.
Fun fact, Geno Smith had a perfect passer rating once in a game.
And
But,
Geno Smith also had his job broke because he got punched in the face.
Which is hilarious.
Oh, Jets.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's going to be low scoring. Seattle's defense has been playing better. They're at home. They have Russell Wilson. 20-13 Seattle. I'm sad.
Let's go.
Oh.
Next up here, I think this could be interesting. I don't think it's gonna be.
No.
But it has the potential. If I would have seen this earlier in the year, week 9, week 10,
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, yeah.
I would have been excited about this game. But Colts at the Bills, I don't think the Colts are going to win this one.
I think the Bills are really hot right now. They're a really good team right now. The Colts, I mean, Colts made it to the playoffs, but they weren't like one of the really super teams in the playoffs. So.
Right, they made it on a fluke vibes. Yeah.
I mean, who else would be in the
I think they'll
AFC?
get
The Miami Dolphins.
Right, even though they got shellacked by Buffalo.
Yeah, and I think the Colts will too. I actually have the Colts scoring some garbage time points that will make it seem a little bit closer than it actually is. But I have 31-21 Bills.
If you think about it, the difference between bare bones, the difference between the Dolphins and the Colts is just the Colts have a better O-line.
Yes.
And a worse quarterback.
And a better run game, I think.
Yeah,
I think
way better running game. I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a game this week.
Well, I mean, if you actually have Myles Gaskin, then Miami's running game is a lot better.
Myles Gaskin played last week.
I know, but I'm saying because of that time missed, I think he lost touch with the offense.
I think the Colts have a better run game than Miami.
Yeah, I think
even with Myles Gaskins.
Yeah, I think so too.
And this is all about Marlon Mack.
And I think a lot you can contribute a lot of that to the Colts' phenomenal offensive line.
Oh, you absolutely should. They're incredible.
And Jonathan Taylor's a good rookie running back.
He's very good, which I predicted he would be good.
But so none of us think that the Colts are going to make it.
No.
I have the Bills winning 27-22. I think it is going to be a close game, just because that's just kind of how games with Indianapolis have been. They've either won the game or they've lost it in a close margin. So why should that change now?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Colts have a good young defense. I think the Bills' defense has taken a step down this year. I think that Indianapolis will be able to establish the run this game if Phillip Rivers doesn't which he probably will turn the ball over at least a couple times, which will be the difference. But if Phillip Rivers has a turnover-free game, I think they have a chance to beat Buffalo. But they won't. 28-20 Buffalo. Bills Mafia. Ravens Titans. Or wait, are we still talking about Bills?
No, we did Bills.
Yeah, we did Bills, but
unless Brendan has one more thing to add.
How realistic do you think the Bills have a chance at beating Kansas City?
Really good shot. Really good shot.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun AFC Championship game to watch.
I think the Bills would have that edge.
I do not, but I think it would be a really good game.
I don't think the Bills have the edge, but I think the Bills can pull out a miracle in a minute.
So
I don't even think it's a miracle. I think Buffalo's good enough to just straight up beat them in their place.
What's Kansas City's record?
14-2.
Who else did they lose?
They lost to the Chargers last week when they benched all their starters, including Mahomes. The Raiders.
I was like, did they really go 15-1 and just nobody
but you also got
about it?
Basically, but you got to think about also
the Bills went 13-3.
They did, and they also should have went 14-2. They lost off a DeAndre Hopkins miracle catch.
The Chiefs have not looked great in the past recently. 8 to 9 weeks.
I think 8 to 9 weeks, they haven't looked good. I think specifically if you look at the last couple, I think part of that is I think they kind of took their foot off the gas. Like the Falcons, why try? But I definitely think that Kansas City is not like the super god team that they have been the last couple of years. That they're automatically the winner. You know.
Well, and that's my point. The Bills, on the other hand, are a team who have put their foot on the gas.
Oh, yeah, they're hot.
And have been killing it the past couple weeks.
Yes, they have.
And so I think momentum plays a huge factor in what's going to happen in a playoff game. But in the Colts-Bills game, I have the Bills winning 38-31. Go Colts.
Ravens Titans.
Yeah. I think this could be a fun game.
I think this is going to be a really good game. Who put 228-27?
That's supposed to be 20.
Oh, I was like, damn, you don't think it's going to be a good game at all.
Fly touchdowns.
Lamar's going to run for 50 rushing touchdowns.
One of us is clearly an outlier in this. Do we want to do the outlier first or last?
Let's.
Okay.
I'll go first. So I think it's going to be a really close game. Both of these teams have been looking good. Titans have struggled in certain areas.
I think especially recently in the last couple of weeks.
Both run games are insane.
There's been a lot of running.
I think possibly the most rushing in a game ever. Yes.
I mean, why not?
I wouldn't doubt Derrick Henry put up 250 yards.
Damn, we're going to have most safeties in a game and the most rushing yards in a game this weekend.
It's super wild card weekend. What do you expect? But
that super messes things up.
Yeah, I'm giving my edge to the team that has the momentum, and that's the Ravens right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Tennessee has kind of struggled the last 2 weeks. I know they got their ass handed to them against the Packers, and then they allowed a lot of points to the Texans. I think the Ravens coming into it are just going to stay on fire. Tennessee will try to keep it close late, but I have 28-24 Ravens. The Ravens move on to the next round.
Yeah, Baltimore is hot right now. Lamar Jackson is playing his best football. Tennessee defense has been really bad, and I think that's going to be a difference. Baltimore's defense is better. I think this is a different Baltimore team when they play the Titans than I think the Titans are a different team. I think Baltimore is a different team. I think this will go the way of the Ravens, and they will win 24-21. A lot of rushing yards this game.
A lot of rushing yards.
All right, outlier time. That's right, your boy, willing things into fruition. I think that Tennessee can actually win this game, and I think they have a good shot at winning. So, obviously they're seated with the edge, but I really think that Tennessee
are underdogs going into this game, by the way.
Really?
They are. Baltimore, I think. Let me check the lines quick. The last I checked, Baltimore, I think, was 6.5, which was weirdly high for my liking.
Yeah.
That's high for
but
a
that's also
game
the
in
same.
general.
That's the same line as Pittsburgh over Cleveland.
Let's see.
I think that's true.
All right, guys. So here is the lines for Wild Card Weekend, just for tidbit. Seattle -4. I would take Seattle to cover personally. Buffalo is -6.5. Tampa's -8. That is ridiculous. They are putting disrespect on the football team.
Let's go football team.
Okay, so Baltimore's -3. So I was wrong about that. New Orleans is -10 against Chicago. Pittsburgh is -6. If you for all my sports bettors out there, if you had to put money on a game right now, take Washington to cover against Tampa. We'll explain it in a second.
That's a great bet right there.
And if you're wrong and you lose your life savings because of me, why'd you listen to me? I'm just a 21-year-old who talks about sports. Why would you do that?
Send your complaint to Brendan Chase here in Sioux Falls.
Yes, send it to Brendan Chase.
Well, I'm willing things into fruition this week, so I'm willing that Noah's probably going to be right. So that way you don't have to come at me. Ha! My episode, willing into fruition. Tennessee, though, they're going to win 29-24. Ryan Tannehill is a better passer than Lamar. It's going to be the difference maker because they're going to crunch up for Derrick Henry. There's going to be a wide open A.J. Brown. Ryan Tannehill's going to take it.
I think there's going to be a wide open Dez Bryant, too.
We'll see.
All right.
But you're wrong.
The last playoff game, and maybe the most exciting playoff game, Bucks Washington football team.
Dude, I hope football team wins so
I hope they
badly.
do too. I think there's a chance they do.
There's a chance.
I think they are a similar team to Chicago. Like, I know obviously they had the worst record, but I think with Alex Smith, they're a similar team to Chicago, and Chicago gave them problems last time. They clamped the defense up. They didn't allow Tom Brady to throw the ball. That's all a football team's got to do. Sack Tom Brady a couple times. Put up some points. They have home field advantage. Put up a couple points. I think they can win this game. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, but I think they can win it. And I have 13-10.
I have 17-14 football team getting the victory. And then they'll keep the football team as their name forever and ever and ever.
See, I think it's interesting you compare it to the Bears game because I actually wrote down the same score, but with different results, having Tampa Bay winning with 19-18 over the football team. I think they're just barely going to get the edge for Tampa, which will surprise people enough. -8.
All right. Here we go. My bettors out there. This is why you take Washington. This is why you take Washington to cover the -8. Washington's front seven is cracked, as I mentioned earlier in the show. They are going to put pressure on 43-year-old Tom Brady with weak tackles and a rookie tackle. I understand that Tristan Wirfs has been good this year, but Chase Young, when he played Tristan Wirfs in college, destroyed Tristan Wirfs. He made hell for that Iowa football team when they played each other, like Ohio State and Iowa. So they could have the advantage there. And on top of that, I just don't think Tampa's tackles are that good. I don't. Washington, very good at they are solid running in football with Antonio Gibson. They're going to milk clock. They're going to take possessions away from Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's going to be without his favorite red zone target, PFF's highest rated receiver in the red zone, in Mike Evans. He is out for the rest of the year. So that'll make it very. Did I just talk myself in it? Nope, I did not. Nope, didn't. Nope. Almost. I almost did. But in the end. Oh, and if the rumors are true and that, they don't get the cold weather thing figured out, I mean, it gets cold in Washington and Maryland this time of year. So that could be a little bit of a factor. But in the end, I think Tampa's defense will prevail against what is realistically an inferior offense in Washington. I think Tom Brady has proven that he's still got it. He's still a top 10 QB in the NFL, no matter what anybody wants to believe or say. And they will win this football game. But it's going to be close. 24-21, Tampa Bay. I think this could look a lot like when they played Chicago earlier in the year. It could look a lot like that, except Tampa wins this time.
I think this game is going to end just like Tom Brady's last playoff game with the Patriots. He's going to throw an interception in the last play. Last play of the game, pick 6. That's going to be the winner for the Washington football team. I would love that so much.
Oh, that'd be the best.
Make my day. If the Washington football team beats Tom Brady, I would go buy a Washington football team jersey.
I'd be willing to sacrifice a Bears win for a football team win.
Right.
And I want the Bears to win pretty badly. But yeah, so with that being said, we decided we're going to announce our Super Bowl predictions and stuff.
Are we going to change these as the playoffs keep going, or?
Yeah.
I assume we'll have to.
Yeah.
I mean, mine won't have to change. So.
Yours will have to change next week when neither of those teams are in the playoffs.
Guys, leave Brendan alone. I think I like his prediction.
It's cute.
It is very cute.
Leave Brendan alone. The games have not started yet. We don't know what's going to happen yet. Leave Brendan alone.
We're gonna. Can we talk about the college football playoffs first, if we're going to talk about them?
Sure, why not?
Because I want it to end on willing things into fruition.
And Brendan has to go last when making a Super Bowl prediction.
Yep.
All right, well, the college football finals championship is coming up this next Monday here, and it's the Ohio State. We're ranked number 11 by Dabo Sweeney. Ranked number 3 in real life. Against number 1 ranked Alabama. I told you Ohio State was getting the victory.
You did say that.
And they got the victory over Mr. Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson. Trevor Lawrence had a bad game. I also said Trevor Lawrence wasn't going to look fantastic. Nobody's going to talk about how Trevor Lawrence played bad except for me, apparently. But I'll keep talking about it.
Well, just the thing is I just don't think it's much to talk about in terms of his draft status, I would say. Because it really doesn't affect it.
That's fair.
It not really. It doesn't at all.
But I'm going with the Ohio State. They're going to get the victory here. As much as I like Alabama, I like Ohio State a little bit more right now. I didn't think they should be in the playoffs to start the thing. I realized very quickly that they are well-deserved of a playoff spot. They shut me up, and so now they got my vote. 38-36. It's going to be a fun one, but Ohio's
I'm
gonna win.
also going for Ohio State.
I love that.
I watched a good chunk of the Ohio State Clemson game. That Ohio State defense
Yeah.
gave Trevor Lawrence problems, and I think they're going to give Mac Jones problems. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Ohio State's going to pull it out, and I think they're going to win 34-31 in what is going to be a really good college finals.
It's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think Alabama has too much firepower on offense with 2 Heisman finalists on their roster. And if Jalen Waddle plays, 34-28, Alabama wins the Natty.
See, I have no idea what I'm talking about here, but I kind of just went based off of my name value. I knew more people from Alabama's roster than I knew from the Ohio State roster.
The Ohio State's roster.
A Ohio State roster.
Z!
Whoa!
Don't you
Whoa,
dare
whoa,
be
whoa.
33-29.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do not condone this behavior on the podcast.
Hey, Ohio State.
Whoa!
I think we have to
Take-
Actually, they're not even good.
Okay.
The Ohio State.
You have to bleep that out. You have to bleep that out.
I think I will.
All of a sudden in the show, you just hear a bleep, Ohio State, and everyone's going to be like, what did he say? Everyone thinks he said a swear word.
Fuck Ohio State.
Fuck Ohio State.
Fuck Ohio State. Or just
Fuck Ohio State.
Super Bowl predictions. We're back up.
All right, boys. I'm going for it.
Wait, no, you said who's going to win?
Yeah, Bama.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're done.
You can go first because we have the same game.
We had the same game. I've been so excited for the Packers this year. They've been so fun to watch this year.
Yes, sir.
Matt LaFleur has gone 13-3 back to
Coach of the year.
back.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Rodgers has had one of his best seasons to date. Our
MVP.
defense is playing
I think
great.
it is his best season to date.
He actually is the second highest pass rating all time in his 2011 season.
Wow.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
God, he's so good. He's so good.
Because his 2011 was 22.5. This year is 21.6. He just beat out Peyton Manning's one of Peyton Manning's seasons for the second all time. I think this is Rodgers' destiny. It's opening up for him here. I think he's going to get a certain MVP, and I think he can get a second ring. And I think that's really makes me really happy for him because he's been such an important guy in our team, and he's been the team for as long as I can remember. It's always been Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is going to win it. His second Super Bowl, 35-28.
I have to sit up for this
Buffalo
prediction because y'all are gonna love my
You should
take.
wait until after Doc.
No, I will. I'm just saying y'all are gonna love my take.
All right.
It's going to be a good game, but Aaron Rodgers is just going to outdo Josh Allen.
I also think that the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers are going to make the Super Bowl. But we got to admit, out of all four of us, I am the most wrong on my predictions because I'm always so biased. And so what did I do this time? I took my love of Aaron Rodgers and I threw it out the window. And I went with the Bills. The Mafia is going to get the win 34-31. They're having fans in the playoffs. The Bills are closer to the Super Bowl, right? They're closer to Tampa Bay, right? Maybe.
No, Green Bay because early in Buffalo.
Well, anyways.
I'm going to Google it real quick.
Anyways, the Bills are also firing on all cylinders. Aaron Rodgers has a bye week, and I think the Packers having that bye week is going to hurt them.
That was last week who came out with destroyed Seattle.
You're right. Because wasn't it like a random statistic the Packers lost after their bye week back to back?
Matt LaFleur lost both his bye weeks last season after the bye weeks. But we killed Seattle coming out of the bye week last year in the playoffs.
Well, right, and you're going to win after coming out of the bye week, but then the next week, the Bills are going to beat the Packers. Don't get me wrong.
I still think Tampa Bay beats the Packers.
I think Aaron Rodgers could still win MVP of the game. I just don't think the Packers are going to win that game.
Aaron Rodgers wins Super Bowl MVP, but loses the game.
That's okay. Rodgers is that good, he deserves it. Pat McAfee really brainwashed me on that Aaron Rodgers. But
Before we do, I was reading up one more article.
So Green Bay to Tampa Bay is 1384 miles, and Buffalo to Tampa Bay was 1281, I think.
So it is closer.
Like by like a couple miles. They're not close. They're like 20-hour drives.
All right. Y'all ready for my Super Bowl?
But Green Bay changes time zones.
Oh!
Yes. Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
They're going to be an hour behind.
Okay.
Or an hour. Yeah, an hour behind.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
Whatever you're
the
saying.
game's going to be over, and, like, the Bills would have won, but then they're going to just then start coming out, and they're going to be like, wait, you played the game without us?
Then before I go into this, I have a question. How many years do you think Aaron Rodgers has? Good years.
3.
I think you could after this year. I think you could realistically get 2 or 3 more really good years on Aaron Rodgers, and I still think afterwards you might be able to get a couple more years of still not prime Aaron Rodgers, but even with like Peyton Manning his last couple of years, it wasn't horrible, you know.
You never watched 2 different Peyton Mannings.
So you're saying three more years of elite Aaron Rodgers?
I think
Next year is going to be his last MVP potential year.
I think we'll get 2 or 3 more years of elite Aaron Rodgers. Correct.
Okay.
Because then because in 3 years he'll be 40.
Okay.
Or 39 or 40, something like that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. I unfortunately do not have Bills Mafia. I think Kansas City will win. I think they. I'm sorry.
I can see it. I think Bills will be fun.
I know. I'm sorry. I hope the Bills make it. I really do.
Well, if this happens,
If it's not the Rams, I want it to be the Bills. But I think Kansas City then playing bad it's being a little blown out of proportion. I think they're just kind of playing with their food. You know what I mean? Like they know they're superior to everybody.
That's what I'm scared of. That they're playing on their food with their.
But I feel like once playoff time rolls around, they'll be like, all right, flip the switch, let's go.
Hope Tyreek tears his ACL at practice.
Here is the thing: they're gonna go up against Green Bay. Old guard versus the new.
Go, Pack, go.
Packers will win this Super Bowl. They will. 38-28 or 30-28. Packers win. Aaron Rodgers, he'll win MVP this year after a 50 touchdown performance, which is incredible.
Oh yeah.
He'll win MVP. He'll win Super Bowl MVP. Aaron Rodgers still has a lot of good years left. He'll have more Super Bowls than Drew Brees. He'll have just as many as Peyton Manning. He'll have more than DRD does have more than Dan Marino.
He's already the greatest player.
He will have just as many as John Elway.
He have more MVPs than Brady.
More MVPs than Brady.
All
When
right.
this game is done, when Aaron Rodgers wins this Super Bowl and wins Super Bowl MVP, he will stake his claim because he has a chance to improve his statistics. He will stake his claim as the greatest quarterback to ever play this sport. Ever played this sport.
I don't have a problem with that.
I understand that Tom Brady has 6 rings. I totally get that.
Fuck
And that is
6 rings.
incredible. Who's more talented?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Who has better? When it's all said and done, who may have better career statistics?
Right.
Potentially Rodgers. The only thing he might not catch is passing yard. That's about it. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most purely talented football players, athletes I have ever seen. I cannot rave enough how good he is. I don't have to go and through all the statistics. You all know how good he is. And I've always been saying this about Drew Brees for years. What is the one thing separating Drew Brees from being the greatest quarterback of all time with all his records that he has? Super Bowls, rings, right? But how often, when are we going to stop considering like rings as the biggest ultimate factor? Dan Marino doesn't have any.
I've been trying.
John Elway has 2. Drew Brees only has 1. Favre has 1. Like, when are we going to stop considering this as a big deal? We all know who the better quarterback is. Just purely off the eye test, purely off of talent, and statistics will show. It's Aaron Rodgers. And if he wins another Super Bowl and has 2 Super Bowl MVPs, more MVPs than Tom Brady, and how many does Peyton Manning have?
2.
Just Peyton.
He might have 3.
He might have 3.
Well, then he'll have just as many, because I know Peyton Manning has the most by a quarterback, so he'll have just as many as Peyton Manning.
Well, because he didn't get it in 2013, it's not that.
No, like MVP.
That's Super MVP.
All right, regular MVP.
I think it's 3.
I think 3, yeah.
Someone, excuse me, fact check me on that.
Peyton Manning has 5 MVPs.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Brady
Wow.
is 3.
Brady has 3. He'll have just as many as Tom Brady. So, say what you want about it. Y'all can hate it. I think Aaron Rodgers, after this Super Bowl, will have a legitimate claim and maybe even have a stake as the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes.
Until Patrick Mahomes' career is over.
Oh,
then
stop it.
He'll be the greatest.
That's
of all
going to
time.
be Aaron Rodgers forever.
Horse-
I'm not. Hey, if we're going to have that career swing for Drew Lock, I am all for it.
So, yeah. Aaron Rodgers will win the Super Bowl.
So many things wrong with all of that. First of all,
This is true because ultimately ours are wrong and yours is
exactly
right.
Exactly, because you know what you guys haven't been doing? You have been willing things into fruition.
Right.
Well, we'll see you next week.
Isn't it?
So,
isn't,
here's
isn't,
what's gonna
isn't-
happen.
Wait, isn't the word fruition?
Probably.
I thought so, but I wasn't going to correct.
I wasn't either because I wasn't 100%, but I'm thinking about like.
Well, fruition is like
Okay, before you
generation of
make
fruit.
your prediction, I'm googling the word fruition. Okay. There's not even a word fruition.
When a fruit grows to fruiton, according to Urban Dictionary.
Okay, no. He is actually right. The point at which a plan or project is realized. So Brendan is right. Wipes off sweat. Oh my god.
All right, let's get it going, Brendan.
So, you're talking all this trash about Aaron Rodgers ever being anything close to what Tom Brady is. He's going to lose to Tom Brady next week. So, he's not going to be in. You guys,
All teams meeting. What do you mean?
not happening.
I already see the plus.
It's a close game, but it's not happening. Lamar Jackson is 0-2 against the Titans in the playoffs. It's going to be
0-1. He will be 0-2.
Oh, sorry. Over the past 2 seasons, Lamar Jackson is 0-2
Against Tennessee.
Against
Yes.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew what I was trying to say.
Yes.
Just didn't say it.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So it's going to happen again. Tennessee's going to win.
Yeah. Okay. Derrick Henry? I mean, by God, 2,000 yards? By God, who's going to stop him?
He's going to have another 2K in the playoffs.
Have you seen A.J. Brown? One of the best wide receivers in football.
Corey Davis has been on the up and up.
Right.
Jonnu Smith produces touchdowns.
Touchdown machine.
And the team we're all sleeping on.
Say it!
Is how bad Seattle can choke.
No! Okay.
That's the Rams.
Yeah!
The Rams are going to go to the Super Bowl. Oh, what team are you sleeping on? The ability of the Seahawks.
Yep, and that's when it went down.
Here, play it. Which one it?
You never stopped it. Cool.
Oh.
Good.
Well, that'll be fun for editing.
Well, I'm still just going to back it up. So the Seahawks choke. The Rams, they're going to make it to the Super in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no.
Because Tampa Bay is going to go on a tear.
I am here for it.
They're not.
And then the NFC Championship game will be Tampa Bay Rams. That can happen, right?
Yes, it absolutely can happen.
I don't know if it can.
Yes.
Get it though, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because Green Bay would play. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
It can happen.
We're good. And
I'd be so disappointed in sports.
That would make my Aaron Rodgers claim just irrelevant. Like, let's just delete that part from the podcast.
also, just on top of all this, I hate Aaron Rodgers with a burning passion. He's a douche canoe.
No, he's not.
He's a douche canoe.
No, he's not.
I mean, he kind of is, though.
No, he's
but it's
not.
okay.
He's such a great guy.
Green Bay doesn't deserve anything.
Green Bay doesn't deserve Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers deserves the Super Bowl.
I just, all my life, I've hated him. I've hated Green Bay. Hated everything about
Are
that.
you taking hate for somebody else out on the Packers?
No, because I hated the Packers before I met Ben. I hated the Packers worse before I met Ben. I hated the Packers.
You made him like the Packers more?
Just a slight bit. Like, I'm okay with Devontae Adams. And like,
You like Devontae?
I'm okay with Jair Alexander.
What's Devontae?
He's the best wide receiver in the league. Yeah.
No.
It pretty much all of my hatred towards the Packers. All of my hatred towards the Packers is all rooted within Aaron Rodgers.
It's gotta be the top.
So Aaron Rodgers is going to lose to Tampa Bay because that's happened already this season. They got creamed. So even if it is a different game and it's a close game, Tom Brady can clutch it out. He is Captain Clutch. Except he's just not going to be able to do it against
Captain Clutch. What happened last year in the playoffs?
Do you know what rank the Rams defense is?
Number 1.
Oh, it's number 1 in the NFL.
Oh, shoot.
Wait, did you actually ask that question or did you not?
I actually asked that question.
I knew he actually asked it.
I was like, I know it's somewhere in the top 3.
Top 3, it's in the top 1.
It goes Rams, Pittsburgh.
Football team.
Yeah, that is the top 3. All 3 are in the playoffs.
So, Rams are going to be able to shut down offenses, especially ones with weaker defenses. Not that Tampa Bay's defense is bad, because it's solid, but it's not
great. It's the Rams' defense.
And the Rams are going to have their running game.
Yeah.
Jared Goff almost messed that up. Oh, that's right. It's Jared Goff and Jarrett Stidham. That's why there was the Jared ball. I wouldn't
be upset if the Rams beat Tom Brady, if that's what had to happen.
The Titans are just going to run over everyone. Bills are, you know what?
I've been out on the Titans.
The Bills are going to lose. The Bills are going to lose to the Colts.
I'm not mad if that happens, though. The whole thing is, though, I don't think it will.
Tennessee is going to win the Super Bowl. We're just going to jump ahead because I don't want to go through everything. With a 10-point margin, 29-19.
Whoa,
Tennessee, man. The teal and silver things are going to rain down.
Listen, your predictions are damn near perfect.
Exactly.
There's just one big issue.
No, there isn't.
You had the wrong winner in the Super Bowl.
Wrong.
Just saying.
Have you seen the Old Spice commercial?
I have. But it doesn't
Derrick Henry's carrying 3 Rams players on.
Right, but you know who's not even in that commercial? Aaron Donald.
That's because he outran Aaron Donald.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers got that Rodgers rate.
Yeah, Rodgers' rate of gonna lose to Tom Brady.
Oh!
And this has been
Ben, feel bad.
Willing things into fruition. And I was right about the word even.
Not smart.
Well, for the SighSquad Podcast, I got to.
And I'm changing my name to Will Fruition, son.
SighSquad, baby. Watch football this weekend.